YouTube, what's up? Today, we have 8 steps to take for you when purchasing a home. Of course, the whole process of a home purchase can be complicated and a bit stressful, but it doesn't have to be that way. Follow these 8 steps to take when purchasing a home, and you'll find yourself in a new place in no time. Step number 1. Understanding your mortgage options with a mortgage broker. Finding a mortgage broker is going to speed up the process dramatically because they will know what you can afford and whether or not you should opt in for a fixed or variable rate mortgage, and if you qualify for any incentives. All brokers have realtors that they work with and will refer you to one during this process as well. Step 2. Get pre-qualified. A mortgage broker can help you get pre-qualified with an affordable loan. Once you get pre-qualified, you'll know exactly how much house you can afford, and you'll feel a lot more confident in your home purchase. Step 3. Discuss your home criteria with your realtor. Now it's time for the fun part. You'll want to discuss with your realtor your wish list for your new home. The checklist below may help you get started, but really think about what is important to you and your next home. What kind of location do you prefer? Are there certain square footage requirements that you must meet? Do you want lots of natural lighting or all the latest conveniences like central air conditioning? Duh. And wireless internet access? Duh. Do you want to stay in town or consider moving out into the country? The choice is yours. Step number 4, research neighborhoods. Location, location, location. Your neighborhood will play a large role in how happy you are in your new home. So spend some time learning about what's available. Look up places online on Yelp and other review sites. Research schools and local attractions. Look at crime maps. Learn about future development plans. Really get a good idea of what your options are for that area. The more informed you are, the better you'll be. Always ask your realtor for their input within your desired area. Meet with them in person if possible because that's how you're going to get your best experience. Together, both you and your realtor will be able to go over all the criteria that you mentioned to them at the same time as your realtor is looking up the properties for that specific area or in a broad area just so you can see what exactly is available for your price range. This part may get you discouraged because as more and more criteria is being inputted into the system, you'll see that less and less homes may become unavailable for you within that price range. Either way, once the homes come up and you're done with your criteria, you can see exactly what you're going to be getting yourself into even before you step foot onto the property. You'll get a good idea of what you can get at the top of your budget and at the bottom part of your budget. You'll also be able to go through all the photos that the particular house has that realtor took pictures for, of course. Right now, I'm giving you an example of what it would somewhat look like depending on where you're from, but at least if you're working with me, here's what it'll look like as we go together through some of the photos, the criteria, the taxes, all the information that particular home has before we schedule the actual showing for the property. Step 5, go home shopping with your realtor. Now it's time to actually go step foot on the properties and do some home shopping with your realtor. This is one of, if not the most important step in purchasing a home. Not only will you learn what it's like inside different houses, but you'll get an idea of what your realtor's communication skills and abilities are, and if, they actually meet your needs. If something bothers you about any house you see, either inside or out, make sure the realtor knows so he can bring it up with the seller during the actual offer phase. Step 6, inspection of the house. You, the inspector of your choice, which usually the realtor has a company, and your realtor will inspect the home before any offer becomes binding. Inspections can be helpful for spotting issues like leaky faucets or exposed wires, but it's also important to keep your inspection in perspective. The inspector is not there to condemn the property. His purpose is to ensure that you know exactly what you are buying. Keep in mind, however, the inspectors are not expert in every aspect of the home construction. Step 7, the final walkthrough. It is imperative that you do the final walkthrough at least one day before closing. During the final walkthrough, you and your realtor will walk through each room in the house to make sure there are no obvious issues with the home. If you find an issue, bring it up immediately with your realtor. If there's an emergency, your realtor will take care of getting it done between yourself and the seller. The final step, step 8, the escrow process, closing, and getting your keys. Escrow and the closing process seem similar, but they're very different things. During escrow, which typically lasts about 30 days, your home goes under contract and you start getting finalized on your loan, and you make the down payment and the earnest money deposit, which is usually around 5% or $1,000 to $2,000 depending on the purchase price. Finalizing your loan during escrow can be one of those tricky situations that requires some extra legwork, especially from you. In order to finalize it quickly, be on your toes. You may need to talk to both your lender and your title company about whether or not they can work together in moving everything along smoothly. Ideally, your realtor will be doing most of this behind the scenes. All you need to do is just make sure you're around for any emails or phone calls, because you're the only one who can send in the documents. Finally, at closing, your loan gets finalized, banks get their money, the buyers sign over any of their checks, which usually means the deposit. And finally, at closing, your loan gets finalized, banks get their money, buyers sign over their checks, and congratulations, your realtor now hands you the keys. And that's it. That's 8 steps. I tried to keep it short on the process of getting your home. Obviously, there'll be some things that are shorter in the time frame or long in the time frame. Basically, most of this comes down to you and how sure you are and ready to purchase your home.